So when you listen to such constructive, objective analysis of what is going on, it makes nonsense of every propaganda of the enemies. Yep. That is why we need to listen to people like this. Because when they put their things out and say, and you tell them, because you don't have the fact. So as members, I think continually we need to read. I can tell you for a fact that these are some of the things. So, Doc, we're going to follow you. Are you on social media?
Very active.
Very active.
They just need to talk.
So please, this is what we need. And we're going to reach out to you and get the fact so that we can silence their nonsense. Does it make sense?
Yes.
All right. Why don't you put your hands together one more time? Again, I just remembered that whilst I was talking about Onkanyahu, I mean, I never even told you what it means to those who didn't understand. That is also discriminatory on my part. So those of you who didn't understand Onkanyahu, it means he or she is not part of us. Okay, so I wanted to chip in quickly with that. Before we go on to the next segment, we'd like to also announce to members. Hello! Hi. Somebody just prompted me, said, "Make time the way I do before come to Oh, brother! Oh, brother! I didn't have to before to you. Oh, brother! Hello? All right, I want to observe absolute silence. Because this segment is very important to all of us. And it's what we call the panel discussion. It's going to be made possible by two moderators, one of which is our own secretary, Dr. Ichapo. Please give it up to him. And to demonstrate that we have more doctors in our midst, by way of introduction, I have Dr. Emmanuel Dake. His accolades are plenty. The class reserved for him. But quickly, he is an aerospace scientist.
Yeah.
Very different. Based in Minnesota. Of course, he was the student representative council president of the University of Science and Technology, that is KNUST in Kumasi. Hello? I said I'm a power. So please, I need absolute silence. Thank you. So he was the SRC president of KNUST in the year 1998. Dr. Dake has won multiple awards, and he is an international speaker who has chaired conferences and workshops worldwide. He also holds multiple US patents. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we welcome Dr. Emmanuel Dake as our prospective moderator.
Thank you very much. So I'll be working with Dr. Joseph here, and I'll come up with the brace and one till. And I think Dr. Amin will be leaving us very soon. He has a flight, and so we are reworking the agenda as we had it, so that we can give the opportunity to answer and give us some thoughts and insights on any questions that we have. The topics we have today: ROPA, dual citizenship, NPD communication strategy, diaspora role in national development, investment opportunities, and then just general Q&A. So the way we are reworking it is that we'll give Dr. Amin maybe one opening question to give his thoughts on all the topics: ROPA, dual citizenship, investment. Specifically, can even talk about the energy sector, and then we'll take two questions from the audience as well. And then after that, if he wants to leave, he can leave, and we'll continue with in-depth analysis or discussion of all the topics. Sounds like a plan. Okay. So, Dr. Amin, can you give us your thoughts? I think this is a general one on the ROPA, okay. So I see lawyers telling me I should punch him on ROPA. So ROPA, you know the law was passed in 2006, and for those of us who are now aware, the Representation of the People's Law Act, which enables all Ghanaians to vote, even whether you're outside the country or not. There was an initial ruling in 2006, and then a monumental one in 2018 by the Supreme Court that says that the EC should operationalize it, as he said. Obia wa manone also to be to abano na also wa county and I guess I can. You know, but up to now we are not seeing, as the DC people will say, taxation without representation. Yes, this is a good fee. You are down or you claim your more port. Now, so about what would you then county? Dr. Amin is saying, saying, what's the MPP's position on this? Is the MPP for it? And even if you can speak broadly for all the political parties as well, and the EC at large, are they really planning to operationalize this to make the votes of Ghanaians outside the borders of Ghana count? Thank you.
Wow. Sitting by Madam Chair, who has raised the issue of ROPA at many meetings I was privileged to attend. Number one, when His Excellency the President came for the UN General Assembly last year, I was part of the delegation, and here was Madam talking about it. And also when I accompanied the Vice President to DC, she was there again talking about it. So I can understand how dear this is to you. But having said this, let me also register that it is dear to us back home as well. Because there is nothing empowering of your citizens, especially those of you abroad, than allowing them to participate in the more important decision-making of choosing the leaders of our country. Given the contributions you make to the economy of our country, to the development of our country, you must have a say in who leads our country, because whatever policies they make affect your investment. And that is the more reason why everybody should support that ROPA should be implemented. But in some of the meetings I have participated, the issue about reorganizing the entire electoral system in our country has become paramount. Because as you know, we face challenges about elections even at home. And this government, the MPP government, is so committed to providing that environment that will make our elections free, fair, smooth, and incident-free elections. For this reason, two important projects are being done back home. The addressing system is one, and then the national identification system is the other. Because we believe that when these two projects are completed, they will enhance the integrity of our electoral system. And so while these efforts are being made at home, it's going to be very difficult to ask anybody within the Electoral Commission to want to begin the process of allowing ROPA to take effect. They are going to give excuses upon excuses upon excuses. But in principle, I am very supportive of it. The government is very supportive of it. Let's continue to push, as you have always done, until there is reason over everybody in Ghana why the ROPA should take effect as soon as possible. And so I'm not able to tell the timetable when it can take effect, but these are just my personal views why ROPA should be implemented. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. And this is a discussion, so anyone on the high table is open to chip in as well.
Thank you very much. Let me say good evening to us, and then also express my appreciation for the awesome reception we received in the last few days I've been around. I'm excited the Honorable Deputy Minister has admitted emphatically that our political party has a broader space to welcome the whole representation of the People's Amendment Law Now, what excites me most is that I remember when I was a young graduate working in an Ekufado's office just after university education in 2007. Samuel Oguyeto Ablakwa, my very good friend, then a former president of the National Union of Ghana Students, led massive and series of agitations to kick against the full implementation of the People's Amendment Law. Countless demonstrations to make sure Ghanaians living in abroad would never be entitled legitimately to the right to vote in Ghana. We are happy. It was passed under the regime of the former NPP administration, and then I think about 9 months ago, a high court in Accra also ruled and said, let the Electoral Commission put plans in place to facilitate the implementation of the People's Amendment Law. Now, my Honorable Minister is here, my colleague CEOs are here. Please permit me to depart from my second portfolio as the Managing Director of Ghana Publishing and speak purely as Let My Vote Count Alliance. We speak and stand for credible elections. And I'm very excited about the movement I led because my party, the NPP, we believe every single election that is conducted in Ghana, if it's conducted purely on the principle of one man, one vote, where the ballot is transparent and the processes leading to the entire elections are free, fair, open, and transparent, the NPP will win. That is the basis upon which me, a member of the NPP, champion the principle of free, fair, open, and transparent elections. The NPP does not go into national elections with a rigging mechanism. We don't. My Honorable Minister is here. Our whole chairperson for the whole USA is here. We don't. We don't go to elections with rigging mechanism. So the NPP smiles at legitimate public agitations geared towards sanitizing the electoral system to make sure the electorate can confidently walk to the ballot box, cast their vote, go back home to sleep, because the processes are fair enough and the votes that we cast will be counted in our favor. The point I'm trying to establish is that the Let My Vote Count Alliance is going back to take up the responsibility the Electoral Commission has been handed over by the High Court of Ghana to implement ROPA. Because I know that if this principle and this law is implemented fully, thank you very much.
I didn't say that
one. Okay, so I think we will take 2 questions from the okay. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Emmanuel. This topic at hand is a very important topic, and what I see here is the lack of political will for government to implement this process. I happened to work with the Electoral Commission in Ghana before I relocated to the US in 2000. And way back, Mali, the Republic of Mali, citizens votes in Ghana. And I supervised one of those elections in Kumasi. So if the Republic of Ghana has been doing it since the 1990s, how come Ghana, as a leading country in Africa, cannot allow its citizens to vote outside? It's something we have to ask ourselves. The processes and mechanisms are there already. If we cannot create our own, there are some that exist that we can just go and photocopy and implement. So what I see here is political will. So we have our Deputy Minister here, and we're going to give a message. Now please let Nana know that we are ready to vote.
Yes.
The first time, 8 years went free of charge. We didn't get a chance. NDC came for 8 years. So if MPP is here now, Nana has to move heaven and earth to give us the opportunity to vote. This is all that we are asking for. And then one thing I also want to contribute on is that our heritage is by blood. It's not by constitution. Ghanaian's heritage is by blood. You can be here, and if you are from a royal family, your child can go and ascend his throne in your hometown. That is the tradition we have. So how do we differentiate our constitutional heritage from what we have as a country? Dual citizenship. Once in Ghanaian, always in Ghanaian. The British, who are our colonial masters, that's what they have. So I don't see why Ghana as a country should veer off our own heritage of blood inheritance. And then also what our colonial masters also use right now. So that dual citizenship is also of importance to us. Like my brother JB said, my child should have access as a Ghanaian. There's no need for my child to go and fill out papers. No. And then with this dual citizenship, one thing I also want to contribute is, if those of us who want to vote, they can place some premium on it. Get your Ghana ID card from the embassy. So annually, maybe you go and during acquisition, you pay like $100. At the end of every 4 years, when it expires, you go and pay your $100. And that will be also another income for our mother. So all I want to say is, please, we want to vote. Other than that, if you don't get a chance, after 2020, I think we have to organize an opposition. We will not welcome any party member here again.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. First and foremost, I think in principle, we agree that if there is one government or one party that will support the implementation of ROPA, it's certainly NPP. For that one, is undeniable, it's a fact. Because the whole idea or issue even started in President Kufuor's era. That was when we were able to remove the constitutional bottleneck. Right now, the major challenge is the implementation of it. And the first excuse that was raised by the Electoral Commission was resource factor. And that one, the court has established whether resource or no resource, you must work with it. As a party, and government also, I share with what the last contributor said. Yes, in implementing ROPA, you must also be a bit cautious. We are talking about Ghanaians outside coming to vote. But there must be mechanism in place to identify who is a Ghanaian. If you are talking about it, we have Ghanaians in UK, Ghanaians in US. Some will also tell you there are Ghanaians in Togo, there are Ghanaians in Burkina Faso, there are Ghanaians in Mali, who should also come and vote. We best say higher power, then Kasapi. So once there's no way of force, no idea. Watch your answer.
Thank you very much. I think our next question, but before you come in, I think there's a law that any country you go, you don't have to register with the embassy, right? So we already have some mechanisms in there that I think we can build on. And like you said, that is the will. When there's a will, there's a way. So I think that the party should show that will, and then we'll be able to go for it. Next question, please. I think we have one.
Hi, Dr. Deputy Minister. I think that with Dumso was a talk over 8 years, and all Ghanaians here, we all felt it. He gave a very brilliant explanation of what went on with the Dumso and why we don't have Dumso now. What I'm seeing, and I was just in Ghana in July, August. People, the mere person doesn't understand why we have light now. Okay? We are doing all this we can to make sure people are okay. But the ordinary person, they don't understand how much, paying 400 million versus 10 billion. How much you guys have saved the country. We need communication that will reach to the ordinary guy. When we are talking, you see, people really listen. It makes a complete sense. But as Ghanaians know this that thing that you're talking about, they don't know. All they know is we have light. And we have ready this happen. And we will do it, okay. But we guys took some drastic measures to get us where we are. So I'll plead with you guys really need to communicate with Ghanaians. Break things down to the ordinary Ghanaians level. Communication is a key.
Yes.
I can tell you, you can do all you can if you don't bring things to the ordinary Ghanaian to understand what you guys are doing. It's just an honest part. That's what I'll play with you and the President of Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I think the CEO of Ghana communication strategy is our next topic, and someone to speak to that, but if you can come there. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I just wanted to comment briefly on ROPA in terms of the party's commitment to implementing. So ROPA, we all know the history, and we all know how far we have come. The party and our government, we are not waiting for the EC to implement it before we do anything about it. I mean, currently, we are in the process of mobilizing Ghanaians across. Everywhere we have an embassy, because we know that most likely that is where vote is going to happen. So currently, we're working with the women's wing, the youth wing, and other wings across the various countries in mobilizing Ghanaians, especially the youth, to identify with the new patriotic party. That way, when the time comes, so in 2020 or in 2024, when Ghanaians are called to vote, the MPP will not be found wanted. So we are not waiting on the EC. As I speak now, we are currently mobilizing across to get more membership into our fold. That way, when the time comes, MPP would have already had the leg up. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So at this point, I'll ask my co-moderator to come in to talk about a communication strategy.
No, somebody else.
Yeah, okay, in terms of MPP USA, what we are also doing with respect to ROPA, like brothers have said, we are not waiting for the EC to roll out any program before we start. So as a branch, what we've done is that we've created an office of ROPA implementation. And we are lucky to have one of our ROPA directors here, Mr. Kwakubi. But they are working on building a database where we can go around the country, get the names of Ghanaians, at least with the help of the churches we have around and social organizations like Asanteman Group, Fanteman, and then all these groups. We can get as many names of Ghanaians as possible. Once we are able to do that, we can send them periodic communication, give them updates as to what is going on. When I was in Ghana, I had a chance to also engage the Director for National Identification Authority. Somewhere next year, summer next year, they are going to be moving around the different countries. Once they have a calendar, we'll let you know when they will be here in the USA to also register Ghanaians to have your Ghana ID cards, because that is also going to be key in the implementation process. As we speak now as a branch, we are writing to the Electoral Commission to, first of all, congratulate her on her new position, but also to remind her that ROPA, we need to see what she has in store. But in terms of implementation, because of how spread out we are, we also want to be part of the stakeholder consultation as to how best we can reach as far as to Alaska, Ghanaians who are living in Alaska. And 50 states across US alone is enough, you know. And I don't think that it would be a good idea to ask all Ghanaians across the 50 states to go to Washington, D.C., the embassy there, or go to the consulate in New York to line up to vote. That's going to be very challenging. And so if we are looking into making sure that Ghanaians actually participate, then there has to be a new strategy that we can work with the EC in terms of how we are going to implement it. USA, we've been very proactive in terms of how we even do our elections across our 23 chapters, using electronic means. And I believe that the EC, it should be something that the EC maybe have to start thinking through. as against telling people to fly from their various destinations to DC or to New York to cast their ballot. I don't think that we can mobilize the needed people that we need to make ROPA more effective. But I can assure you that since MPP USA was very instrumental in pushing for the promulgation of ROPA, I believe that the party stands with us in terms of its implementation. There have been concerns raised about Togo. We all know the population of Togo. And so it will be very fictitious if all of a sudden we wake up in the morning and Togo has a 12 million population, and out of that, about 6 million of it is Ghanaians. That's not going to be possible. So these are some of the things or mechanisms that we can use to check, the fears that I see a lot of our party folks express as far as those of us living outside the shores of Africa and then those living within the African sub-region. Thank you.
So let's quickly switch over to our next topic, which is your MPP communication strategy. So I know a concern has been raised about the party's communication strategy. A number of parties go back home and raise a concern. Even right now, somebody raised a concern about it, right? And so not to reiterate that concern, I'm looking for solutions. Okay, so the question then is, what is the MPP strategy for ensuring that our campaign promises and some of them that have been fulfilled, some programs and policies that are being carried out? What is the strategy for ensuring that they are well communicated to citizens of Ghana? So I would like to start with you, Lawyer Kodia.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. In communication, we have different categories. And for us, for our purposes, now we are in government. When we're in position, we're singing a particular song. But when you are in government, your posture and your communication differs. Because this time around, you have to be explaining and justifying government policies, while the opposition will also be attacking government policies. And one thing that I must concede, and I was discussing with the Honorable Minister, that those of us who were on the forefront in terms of communication during opposition, unfortunately or fortunately, most of us are also in government. And either to when we used to do on radio, nowadays, you don't see those faces there. Then there are always new people, most of them novice, on radio as they match the seasoned NDC communicators. So it's something that, as government, we have admitted that it's a fault that we have to correct it. Two, as a party, after winning the elections, you all recall that we are having several internal elections from the polling station, constituency, region, national. It is now that we have that of communication in the person of lawyer Pamia Sampa. So they are also putting in place their structures to set our communication team to a level that can communicate government policies very well. Again, one thing that we also have not been doing as a party is the respect of even communication among ourselves. It should be that, irrespective of wherever you are, whether you are in the US or you are in Ghana, but so far as you are MPP party officer, when issues comes up and you are called, you should be on top of issues. Information flow is something that is lacking in the party, and it's something that we must also work on as a party to make sure that we are on top. We cannot say we are waiting for 2020. And by 2020, Ghanaians have made up their minds. If we have any issues or other things to talk about, it is now. One thing that is going to happen in the coming month, like I reiterated, is that there's going to be a new dimension again, whereby even if you are government appointee or wherever, we must have a time schedule that at least twice or 3 times in a month, you must go on radio to talk. That is something that has to happen. Because the the deputy minister gave. It was so excellent, and everybody here was asking himself. So all these things were there. And somebody speaking for you and you speaking for yourself can never be the same. Make a joke. They make can say, as I said, we all can. That's what we can happen. And the ministers now are implementing policies now. Most times, more radio may change. Never swap the key. This will get change. It's a communication. They know you say it's in now. You what? The I said yes, baby. Also, I told you no. Ebe kan was na mama for because adwuma ekoso a abenu normal yeye is unprecedented. But yama adrenaline free side my na no and this propaganda no set agenda. You mushi a normal koso ye pre inye adwuma say issues we na say be enen asem. But because of say yes we empower ti ye change say the normal here. Baby, I don't want to be true. You may any normal be fire. A moment when you're free space, no, I is a normal. I can't make a phone.
Mr. Asante respond and then we'll take 2 questions.
Thank you. I go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. There is a challenge. My brother and colleague, the CEO, has said a lot. We wrestled power from the NDC, but when we are in government, we need to manage our communication to disseminate the information. The strategies are not the same. And David Asante of 6 months, 8 months ago, I'm in UTV and Ajo. I'm in EDSC. And the David Asante of today, when you see me on UTV, it may not be a warfare front or a battlefield. I may have the responsibility of espousing on the achievement and the success story of the government. Immediately we won the election, I personally decided to take a backstage role. Observe what is happening first. Because if I appear on any major political platform, the first question you'll be asked is your personal capacity and your office and portfolio you hold in government. Your appointment or Ghana publishing, and in a while. It was too early in a period of 4 months for you to have a success story to share. What is transformation enough? And if you meet a very sensible and a forthright host on a morning show or on an evening show, before you discuss generically the performance of your government, he must be reasonable enough to pin you down to ask you, one as a collective effort in marching your government forward. I've interacted with a lot of CEOs, and they are of the opinion they have sown seeds. So most CEOs started doing active government communication in this second year, where they themselves will take the opportunity to espouse on the achievement of their sector they manage, feed it into the overall success story of the government agenda. This is the CEO of State Housing, this is the CEO of everybody has a major success story. But until the first phase of the government takes shape, where the success stories are well consolidated. And remember, Ghanaian voters have been extremely discerning in the last few years. After we vote for you, we don't buy into the stories of it's the pipeline we are doing. Now they want to hear we have done. Today, if I sit on TV, I can boldly and confidently say the Ghana Publishing, which used to be a dead institution, today every single service we deliver, from Gazette change of name to LI's legislative instrument, constitutional instrument, and executive instrument that are signed from the office of the president, are readily available online, where you can sit in the comfort of your home, send us your document soft copy, and change your name, and we copy it to you in a period of 5 days. Gazette used to happen in 21 days. And people had built a cartel of Goro boys where you have to pay extra near Fetch and people were making money. And CEO was sitting down, Gazette no Wajeni Kakra, no Wayama on 10. So if you don't know somebody, in 21 days, the Bayama. I have scrapped everything, and as we speak now, we do it in 5 days. So the point we are trying to establish is that we didn't need to jump instantly into the fray of communicating for the government until we had a lot of transformational success stories to share. Then we feed into the overall stories of the government. But I can tell you, we are the substantive director of communication, 10 able deputies, 2 years in the government. Very soon you will see all of us taking the stage again to project the goodies of the government.
We'll take 2 questions from the audience.
Somebody speaking here, please.
Okay, go ahead.
So just briefly, and to add to what my brother David said, I know there's a huge concern regarding how we communicate our success stories. And I'll just give you an example at State House, and to add up to what my brother was saying. Before His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo became president, the last mass estate by the State Housing Company was under J. Akufo in the year 2000. Currently, the State Housing Company has started mass housing estates again under His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo. The last time that the company was profitable was again under His Excellency J. Akufo. 8 years of Nakamil's John Mahama, the company was run down. Losses after losses after losses. Currently, this year, the State Housing Company is able to pay dividend back to the government again. With that said, we inherited a very bad system. I remember the first day that I walked into my office, looked into the books, and I said, what have I signed on? Because we know the NDC was bad, but I'm telling you, it is rotten. I always say that the NDC operates as a criminal organization. It is not a political party.
It's an evil cult.
It's a criminal organization. Because they don't have Ghana or Ghanaians at heart. I mean, I once told a friend that you can't be NDC and be a Christian.
That's a strong one.
And I'm serious. Because if you look at the things that they can sit and to scheme, to rob and steal from Ghanaians, not just Ghanaians, their own flesh and blood, people that they walk the streets with, you can't be a Christian and be a Muslim. So gradually, as we pull through as a government, we're also telling our story. But we are not just saying that, oh, the system is bad. We are saying that, yes, we inherited a bad system. This is what we have done to make it work. And this is what we are doing to sustain it. And this is why Ghanaians have to make sure that a criminal organization can never rules the country again. Thank you.
Let me say something here before we go to the man coming here. I've been listening to everybody who has spoken about this communication strategy business, and I hear 2 things. One, we just elected we're not ready. 2, we were just building the country to a point where we can start talking about it. Yes, I understand that. As I said to you, I can really appreciate that and understand that. But let's take it to the street of Ghana and see if the people walking in the street of Ghana understand what you're saying. In politics, they say something called perception is reality. If people perceive you as this of your government, and that sits in their mind, forget it. If we wait until the last minute before we start telling our story about what we are doing, what we inherited, and everything that has gone on, all the people will think of is that we are doing this just for elections. They will not listen to us. So as much as I appreciate the problem that you face, you have to have a strategy to overcome this challenge. And I'm not saying it to you personally, but to all of us, we have to. We cannot wait until 2019 before we come out. That would be too late.
Yeah. Hello.
Am I on?
And then you can respond to.
Okay. Yeah.
But they are the speakers, we are the people. So they need to hear us and then communicate it back home. If they keep talking and talking, then that's it. Here is the situation. I have a question. My question is a statement and then a question. MPP as a party, academically, you guys are sharp. When it comes to the street, you are dull. Every time I win him casa, define them. We know you can do it. That's why we gave you the mandate. In politics, 1 hour makes a difference. Look at what happened in the Senate. Capitol. Just one day, a switch. Now Republicans are coming up. 1 hour. You are dealing with a celebrated thief. A celebrated thief has always put his tricks in place. And this is what NDC is doing. Go to Facebook. As a CEO of state transport, you have a beautiful story. Housing. We don't see you out there. We don't see you out there. Show us what they stole and what you've been able to pay to the government. And again, ETS here. You guys talk about GDP, GAC. Hey, a Ghanaian street man who don't know GDP. Let's face it. From Accra, you know, American GDP. You found GDP, GDAC, your question is, as communicators, you know, yes, some are over something. Some are our position in your home. If you let these thieves define us, you will lose. Yeah, when we are comfort, it's the Samara, and your court to share. I'm gonna, you know, I'm also. Please. Please.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. Yeah, as far as MPP USA is concerned, yes, we've also been very concerned about the communication of the party. Being in opposition as MPP, we all stood up together as a party and were out there fighting and getting the party's message out. Now we are divided. We have those in government and those who are still in the party. The gap I see is the disconnect between government and the party. How is information flowing from government to party so party can be effective in the airwaves? So that disconnect, I believe we need to work on as a party and also as government. If State Housing Corporation has hired a number of people, the party needs to know so that if we are collating how many jobs we have created, we should be able to say our reference is from the State Housing Corporation, how many people they have employed, or from the Youth Employment Agency. Also, how many people they have employed. So there should be some kind of a liaison person who is going to serve as the link between government and the party so we can get the needed information to be able to be effective in the airwave. USA not sitting back and just watching and complaining. Our communications team led by Kofi Toto were charged to put together a communication structure for the party. Because we believe we can't just say we have a communication director, have 10 communication deputies, and not have them assign specific role and tasks. So as a branch, we put together a structure that we send to them, that we need to see a deputy director in charge of, let's say, digitization and data. And that's all the person is doing, making sure we are branding ourselves very well in terms of our website, We have an IT team. We have people who are doing infographics for the party, because sometimes some messages, if you capture them in infographic form with just one word and put it out there, is more effective than having a lengthy, page presses. And so we have people, we have graphic designers who are also on board doing their own thing. We have a research team who is just doing research to back the party in terms of the information the communicators need to go on radio. And then who is in charge of even training communicators? How are those people even equipped in terms of understanding the ideology of the party, the structure of the party, the history of the party, to be able to go to the radio station and be effective? We need people who will be training these people, certifying them, giving them maybe some certificate of some sort, that they have gone through MPP's training in terms of ethics in communication, communication leadership, and all these other aspects of communication, so they can be very, very effective for us. And then content development. If we are sending articles out, who is editing or proofreading and screening these contents that we are putting out there? And does it speak for the party or not? So these are different sectors or different areas of communication that we need to specifically assign people and let them work in that specific area. And then social media has become also another area that we are going to be confronted with. And as more of the free SHS people come into the mainstream, their main focus is going to be social media that they are going to use to communicate. A time will come that I foresee in our politics where we will not be doing big rallies. It is the campaign is going to shift from rally grounds to the social media grounds. And how well have we positioned ourselves as a party to take advantage of the social media? I believe that is where our digitization, data, person is going to be very, very key and instrumental in helping us position ourselves to be very effective as a party. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very powerful.
We should not underrate the propaganda machinery of the NDC.
That's right.
They are very good at it. They are very good at it. So if we don't take them seriously, we should forget about 2020. The people, I talked to some friends in Ghana recently. Some of them don't know that there's a railway line going from Western region to the north.
Yeah.
They don't know this project is going on right now. And all the good things we are doing, if we are not able to communicate well to the people on the street, people going to the farm, the people houses, the cell phone places, they come up, they are easy convinced. You know what they have described LGB people as belong, doctors, many people, they don't care about us, they think only of themselves. And I have about 2 or 3 doctors here, which is true. These people are doctors, graduates, so. They don't care about me and you. See, we are drinking palm one here. We can't even buy 2 bottles for ourselves. And they are riding in Pajeros and all that. If you don't go deep down to the street to talk to these people, believe me, forget it.
That's right.
They can lie. They can lie very well. Just like I think what we have to do now.
Take it from the veteran.
And the doctors here can.
So we're, thank you for your questions. So I'd like to pivot to the next topic. In the interest of time, we want to move on to the next topic. So our next topic will be somebody respond. Okay, we'll take the question and then you can respond, and then we'll move on to the next topic.
Research shows that when you hear something so much times,
Can you please closer to your
research shows that when you hear something so many times, it's sticking in your brains. Right. So what I would say is that you guys need talking points so that there's consistency among all the communicators. Yes. So what A communicator A says is the same as what communicator D says. And what that happens is that people listening from different sources And that's what sticks into their mind. And that's what they remember. And you don't want to wait till 2019 to do that. It will be too late. With that said, I think one of you guys mentioned that NDC is made of thieves or whatever. So my question is, if you know all the bad stuff that they did, what is Hamidu? Or Hamidu? What is he doing?
Martin Hamidu.
Yeah, what is he doing?
That's right.
And when are we going to get some of these stuff?
Accountability, yeah. Jay.
Yes, we'll address that last part of your question, that Lawyer Korea wants to speak to your first part about communication, right? Okay, you wanted to respond, okay.
So I just wanted to respond briefly to some of the concerns. So yes, all the concerns that has been expressed here, they are very valid and they are very solid. I mean, currently, right now, what we are doing to address some of these as a government, as a party, is to use social media a lot. Currently, we have a solid social media team. If you've been following social media lately, you would realize that our messaging are more in sync because we have a team that is producing content for our social media team. We actually have two teams, one general team and actually one specifically targeted towards the youth. And our National Youth Organizer is actually part of the team that's working on it. So we are working in that way to make our message more in sync and to get to our target the youth that we are targeting to meet. So, and the question about Martin Hamidu, I'll tell you, from where I sit as MD of State House and Company, that the thieves, people who stole and plundered from our country, still will not walk free. And I'm telling you this on authority. So my understanding, and I'll give you a brief, my understanding is we are just resuming the legal, correct me if I'm wrong, the lawyers here. We just had
can we come to that topic after addressing the communication topic, and then we'll come to the other topics, and then that'll be one of them. Thanks.
Hey, Ofa, when you said that Beno, hey, I did here. My job,
can you please speak to the communications topic, and then we'll come to the topic.
That's the whole issue.
Okay.
It's all part of communication. In 2016, your catch and call for said, and this is for your call for.
Yes,
you buy a trauma too. Say, in our super kaya, or my pinnacle for a person, your chimpo photo, be born. My time at trauma too was between 2004 and 2006. Be born. You see, you come in and say, I see the wheels of justice, grassroots, at work. Surely be one. I prefer say, many would say, the machine cases, the my building those young, now they'll put that judging. Now, maybe then say they are meeting offer. Now, my preparing work or their boss natural. Sebi, any people who are come see you long for, you'll catch it for bad, you'll menu for bad. You're sorry, court, and good for, and they wouldn't go for quite a gas and cry the king. You'll call for your one TH there, or more cases in court and evidence. Sebi, almost in the power, will basically all corner. There's no good now, that you use as evidence way. And how much? And the cassette or in the account. But I can assure you, say, by 2019 years starting, boom, call for the Makuta court. And be doing myself. Then, that's one of NDC propaganda. Yes, I'm more hiding. But it seems you're over high point.
Yeah, that is true.
You were position 99. Or propaganda, you are about 2000. You're transferred 8 years. In 2008, they were younger. See your position. And it's so transfer 2009 to 2016. 2016, they don't mind it. Propaganda, you want go position. To me, in 2020, and then NDC never be lose up. Yeah, never be lose up. If we say in Baku, you call for desperation, any anxiety, expectation is so high, say it is that. This time around, you were party officers or with fear or with your interest, teaching I said they are with That is the gospel truth. In 2000, you were for pencil. I'm out for a young potential train. Or man, say, a ye. But this time around, obviously, they will be permitted in the year. Oh, but the problem is, you don't run a country like that. The now look at assembly. Was said, MPP, the more I hear trans power swatcher, and the bit must satisfy with you. Because I bet you within 1 year, or 2 years, or 3 years, 4 years, which one will be a man. But in I said it, you're plentiful, you will know your bushel for Ghana. As the two said, you don't make us a catch on said I want to be for 1 day, and so problems now. Obia better member said 8 years, and you expect so before 2 years, and you need now. And not possible. Communication also can't go far. So what was your Ghana? Let's get the two. Say, I didn't pay Casa, and all Matthias said, abandon me if you buy the and I see the
We'll move to the next topic, which I'm sure will be of a lot of interest to most of us here. As diasporans, our involvement in national development and investment opportunities that exist in Ghana for us. We know that we contribute in many diverse ways, right, to the Ghanaian economy. We send remittances back home, sending money. We pay import duties when we ship stuff. We will communicate with our loved ones. We are being charged. Some of us do, investments in real estate. Some people partner with foreigners, go back to Ghana, establish an enterprise. People have gone to build universities, doing a Shesi. So I would like to start with you, Mr. Apia, since you work for the State Housing Company. I'm sure most Ghanaians here have either built, homes back in Ghana. They have business ideas, or some have already been started businesses. What can you tell us about opportunities in Ghana for us as diasporans to do something that will support the economy?
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. So I would speak to the opportunities that Ghanaians in the diaspora can have in the housing industry, the housing and general construction. I know most people who live outside Ghana, one of their major goals is to build a home in Ghana. And a home we all know is an investment. And I know one of the biggest challenges that Ghanaians living outside, and I live in the United States and I live in the UK, so I know the challenges that we have when we are buying homes in Ghana. First is land. You go and get land, pay top money for it. The next moment you have 3, 4, 5 people claiming ownership to the same land. When you are lucky enough, you overcome that hurdle. Then you have to rely on your nephew or your niece, who by the time that you get to the rental level, they have already built their home using your money. It's a huge challenge. What State Housing Company does is to take away that challenge by giving you land that that we call peace of mind land, and also also be able to build the homes that you want for you. Not only that, a lot of people meet me every day and say, well, we have money. How do we invest in homes or in your area? And it's very simple. We partner private individuals who want to invest in the real estate industry. Real estate in Ghana is a minefield. If you are not within the system, you will struggle. I know a lot of diasporans have built estates in Ghana that either one, they are not selling, or two, people are living in them but have not paid for them. That's because our system is such that we don't have any credible mortgage system in Ghana at the moment. So when you go into real estate, people will have to come and pay cash for the homes that you are building. Currently, as a government, we have the new real estate bill that we call the National Housing Policy Bill in Parliament now. So what it's going to do is to create a mortgage system whereby people will be able to have long-term finance and to be able to buy homes. One avenue that, at least I know one Ghanaian who actually happens to live in Atlanta, Chamabilis area, is doing, is to actually leverage a mortgage financing company that he owns here to provide mortgages in Ghana, long-term. That is something that you can take advantage of as well. I know Ghanaians in Europe, for example, they are actually working with their local banks to be able to finance their homes in Ghana using collateral that they have built and their credit profile in their home countries. So we have to be thinking, using out of the box methods and strategies to be able to move forward in terms of if we are looking at home ownership in Ghana. But then again, I mean, state housing homes are not that expensive. I know everybody in this room can pay cash for it. Oh yes. I mean, if you are getting a 2-bedroom apartment for less than about $45,000, $50,000 in a prime area in Accra, I hardly get people from outside Ghana coming to say asking for mortgage financing for such properties, because most people just want a place in Accra that when they come for their 2 weeks vacation, they can have a place to stay. They will build their mansions in their hometowns. Others want a mansion in Ghana, in Accra, and yes, we can do that too for you. But if you are interested in investing in real estate, please, I mean, take my business card. Let's talk. There are vast opportunities available for you. We'll be able to help you in terms of from land acquisition to construction to sales. We have a huge housing deficit in Ghana. Currently, we are estimating that we need to be building about 100,000 homes every year to be able to even have any chance of catching up with the housing deficit. The government can't do it on its own. So we are partnering with private individuals. We have people from Turkey, China, Mexico, all trooping into Ghana, and even South Africa. Trooping into Ghana to take advantage of it. As Ghanaians, we should be leading that effort. Because there's vast opportunities in that sector. Just to digress a bit into other sector, and I know this before in it, agriculture. Right now we have the Planting for Food and Jobs project. Then the government is facilitating private individuals that want to go into agriculture. From land acquisition, seeds, fertilizers, everything. That is also an area that if you are interested, please take a look at. The Minister for once told me that we are now making agri sexy.
That's true.
And that is because if you go to their outfit, you have young men and women, all grabbing lands to plant 2 languages. 2 days ago, the Korean Society in Ghana actually invited me to an event that their goal was to tap into planting for food and crops just to grow onions. Because per their research, just growing onions in Ghana, because we import onions, believe it or not. We import onions from Ivory Coast and Burkina Faso to Ghana. Meanwhile, they were telling me that per their research, the land in Ghana is best suited for onion cultivation throughout West Africa. So why are we not doing it? And we have people from Korea coming to set camp in Ghana to plant onions. I'll hold the next slide.
Thank you very much. Any more contributions of the investments, opportunities? Okay, good. Comment or question?
No, I think you okay. Yeah, just real quick. I know you did, Mr. Cornell, you did talk about what housing is doing and all that. What about international and big companies that want to come to Ghana? I've tried since NDC time as a commercial pilot. I've set up an aviation and have the businesses that are willing to help. We already have our certificate and everything. They have people that are willing to lease the airplane. I met Nana and I did talk a little bit, about this. I met, was it Dapa, the Minister of Aviation, last year. Yes, Abna Dapa. We met when Nana was flying to London for the Commonwealth speech. I was at the airport. Right after that, Abna Dapa went to Minister of Sanitation. Everything is stopped. I've tried all my investors and the people that are willing to help me have given up right now. And not only that, we've worked with a couple of NGO toilets for Ghana, Books for Africa. We've done so much. My question is, how do we go through this? Okay, I was told that I have to go to Parliament. We had the forms to fill from Minister of Aviation, and everything is done through the NDC time. And now, the planes are waiting just to do regional airlines in Ghana. The only one regional airline that was there, I flew with them, AWA, and it's broken down. What can we do from outside world to get the system, very easy for us to come there? Who do we talk to? How do we, we are sitting here right now. If I come to Ghana and I want to see you, can I come straight and talk to you? That I need this, I need that. Is it that easy? Because when I get there, it's so difficult to see the right people that I need to meet. We are ready to come and fly in Ghana. Help us.
So, I think this is a good segue to our next question. So, before you answer that, in the manifesto, Nana Adoda's manifesto, page 32, I believe, he specifically said he's going to have an office for diaspora affairs in the office of the presidency. And I think it ties to that because that facilitates. So, could any of you illustrate that also? As what's being done in general, your specific one, and then just for diasporans who have ideas and want to help. Thank you.
So, our manifesto promise is something that has actually been fulfilled. We have a diaspora relations desk at the office of the president at the Jubilee House. It's no longer Flagstaff House. Jubilee House. So, and it's actually headed up by diaspora. I review and his assistant, Nadia, is from Canada. So it's, the office is manned by people who live in the diaspora. And it's a place that sometimes I go take my lunch. So that is a great resource for you if you need that help. And I agree. For somebody who don't live in Ghana, and especially if you just have 2-3 weeks to stay in Ghana, the system can be very frustrating in terms of the manual things that you have to go through. Thankfully, too, with this government, there are so many people from the diaspora who are currently working in government now. And I'm an example. We have a very solid diaspora appointees group that also serve as a resource for people in the diaspora who want to do business in Ghana. If you come to my office, you would always hear various accents there. Because a lot of people, especially those who live in the UK and the United States, when they come to Ghana, they come to State House because they know they have a brother there who will be able to support them in terms of helping to navigate the system in Ghana. The system in Ghana is tough. I mean, look, sometimes I look at Justin and my brother David and other people and I ask myself, wow, how do people survive in this country? But yes, you have to survive one way or the other. And once you navigate through the maze, things get easy. I'll be very happy to talk to the current Minister of Aviation for you to give you a leg up, if you don't have it, you already don't have it in terms of what the project that you want to do.
Amen.
Because currently we have Passionaire that just recently started a local with 2 aircrafts. African Oil, yes, they are currently the biggest player in the local industry.
We started before that.
Yes, and you are right. You have to know exactly where you need to go. I'll give you an example. Somebody that I met in the UK years ago, in 2004, he wanted to set up business doing one particular thing. And his story was similar to yours. That I've been trying this since NDC, I know they were incompetent, but MPP, come on. He came to my office, actually led one of my secretaries sitting down, walking through the process. She actually went office to office. This is not State House and PA, my private assistant. A process that he was trying to do that he's been working, that's what he tells me, that he's been working on it for almost 4 years. He was able to complete within 2 weeks. And that is simply because he just did not know where to go, who to talk to. Because in Ghana, I'll tell you, who you know works. One phone call can shorten a 2-year wait period. And those of us who don't live in Ghana, we don't have that connection.
Mr. Cobra, to the point that right now, Amtrak is willing to give their contract to us. I met Elijah Banda, and I don't want to go to that route. He's willing to give his license to us to operate under his offices, and I really do not want to go that route. So,
in your case, I think we've already
It's a
exchanged
special case.
numbers,
Let's talk about
and
that.